Yo, what's going on, guys? And of course, we got to talk about D'Angelo Russell and my coworker at hoopshype.com. Go check out US Today's Hoops Hype. Talked about D'Angelo Russell having this season where he's been incredibly consistent, more efficient than the Brooklyn Nets season. And a team like the Orlando Magic could be one that would be interested in him. Now, Jovan Buha of The Athletic is saying Orlando's the team that people are talking with the Lakers, outside the Lakers, that could potentially give the most concern as a potential suitor. So let me hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you think of D'Angelo Russell going to a team like Orlando? I'm a Magic fan, so I'll let you know my thoughts shortly. But yeah, I want to hear that, because when you look again, you got D'Angelo Russell, who's just been absolutely efficient as all hell and playing a huge part in this offense for the Los Angeles Lakers. A guy averaging 18 points, 3 rebounds, 6.5 assists, shooting a true shooting of 59% from the field. And he's a guy that, as the season has progressed, I mean, between January and February, he was on a 24-game stretch where he was averaging 21 points a night on like 7 assists a game, about like 3 rebounds and just under a steal a night, while shooting over 45% from the field and 43% from 3 on 8 attempts from deep. So he's showing this ability to be an on-ball guy, an off-ball guy, and with the fact that they have Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, Anthony Black, if you put in D'Angelo Russell, take out Markelle Fultz, you'd assume D'Angelo Russell can play next to any of those 3 point guards that I just mentioned, Suggs, Black, and Anthony. If that was the rotation of guards you wanted to keep, he can play the shooting guard or he can play the point guard. Suggs and Anthony, I think Suggs can play the combo. I don't know if Black could play the combo. Cole could probably play the combo. But I think we're seeing that, it makes sense. And when you look at the Orlando Magic salary going into next season, they're going to have some room to play with, and they're aware of that. As this season, currently, they're at 132. Looking into next season, they're at 85. And I believe that's counting, Joe Ingles and Mo Wagner, team options being picked up. You got Markelle Fultz coming off the book, Gary Harris. You assume Goga Bitadze is going to come back. Kevon Harris maybe gets converted. And then a draft pick. And the draft pick's probably going to take up $5 million. So $90 million. You still got about $40 billion. I mean, 40 million, not billion, 40 million to burn right there. So I think they would like to play with that. And I wouldn't be surprised if Orlando is a place for them. And I think realistically, it's not a bad fit. It makes sense to me. I would not be surprised if Orlando goes the Fred VanVleet route. All right, Fred VanVleet's contract is definitely a lot more savvy than people thought. It's a 3-year, $128 million deal. And I don't know if we'd give them that much, but the way that the deal works is the third year of the deal is a team option. All right. And the contract only has what? I believe it's the base salary. So when you go into the final year of that deal, it's up to them if they want to keep it, like the Rockets. So Fred VanVleet's under contract for next season, and then they could easily trade him because they could tell the team, hey, we'll just send this as a matching salary, and if you don't want to keep Fred VanVleet, you can just decline that team option. So in theory, I could see the Orlando Magic being like, here's a 3-year, $90 million contract. First 2 years, fully guaranteed, $30 million each year. Last year, team option. And then depending how he plays the 2 years. So I think that's kind of the route that we could see the contracts take. That wouldn't surprise me whatsoever for a guy like D'Angelo Russell. And I think the biggest thing with him is I don't think he's going to get a max, but I think he can get a rather large contract that maybe also includes a 15% trade bonus, which if it has a trade bonus, it would give D'Angelo Russell the ability to not be traded and, have a say more in terms of, if you trade me, I'm going to make more money. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing. And I don't think it's going to be like that 3-year 130. I could be seeing a 3-year $90 million deal. Maybe it's worth more, but I think that's what seems in the realm of possibility. I think another team, the San Antonio Spurs, I think young teams are looking at D'Angelo Russell and seeing the growth he's had as a person and the maturity as big reasons to why they're interested in bringing in a player like him into their roster, especially young teams. So I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section. But yeah, I'm definitely curious. But that'll be my thoughts right there. I wonder what's going to end up happening with the rest of the team and how it's going to play out for the Los Angeles Lakers in terms, if we look at their free agency, as the Lakers are a team that looking for the Orlando, like, because we just talked about Orlando, who's coming off the books. Now looking on the opposite side of things, you want to look at guys like the Lakers, who the Lakers next year, they're going to be already at $178 million. And that's with Taurean Prince, Max Christie, which is insane to think about. Like, Max Christie's contract's already expiring. And I think they did that contract. I think that was before the new second round pick contracts. But Taurean Prince, Max Christie, Spencer Dinwiddie are all coming off the books. And that's if the player options of Christian Wood, Jackson Hayes, and Cam Reddish aren't picked up. I doubt Christian Wood stays. Probably Jackson Hayes, same thing. So you look at that and you're like, okay, it's hard to see D'Angelo staying. But they do have, I believe, his bird rights, or the chance to keep him. So anything can happen.
The Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic could potentially have $50 to $60 million in cap space, as Hoops Hype's Mark Deeks outlined in a previous article. Paul Banchero, Franz Wagner, and Jalen Suggs are on rookie scale contracts. Wendell Carter Jr. is on a team-friendly deal. Rival executives believe that the Magic are a team to monitor this offseason to make a notable upgrade and improve their shooting. Should Orlando have interest in Russell during the free agency, he could play on or off ball, as he has shown with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That the same thing he could do alongside Paolo Banchero, Wagner, and Suggs. Russell's shooting 44.5% on catch-and-shoot threes and is averaging 1.25 points per possession on spot-up shots. The 28-year-old has been efficient beyond the arc from either corner, spot at 44% from the left corner, 41.7% from the right corner as a floor spacer. Such shooting efficiency would open up the lanes for Paolo Banchero and Wagner as playmakers. Now, if we move on to another team, that will be the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are projected to have between $20 to $26 million in cap space per Hoops Hype's Mark Deeks. While San Antonio is rebuilding, the Spurs have the flexibility to improve the roster and to be more competitive around Victor Wembanyama, who has lived up to the hype and more as is the expected Rookie of the Year. The Jeremy Sohan point guard experiment failed and was too inconsistent. Now, Trey Jones is better suited as a defensive pass-first elite backup point guard than as a somewhat inconsistent starting guard. That leaves the possibility for San Antonio to consider signing and paying for a more trusted and consistent floor general, which is a weird way to call D'Angelo Russell, as someone who could space the floor and operate for Victor Wembanyama. Jones is shooting career best 33.8% from downtown, as well as Sohan is shooting 30.9%. That was another career best from downtown, but they're still underwhelming overall as floor spacers. The Spurs could decide if the 28-year-old Russell would be worthwhile as a stopgap and overpay him, or a long-term fit if they can give him a nice contract. I don't know. What do you guys think about that one? That's not that bad.